Welcome back. It's Friday. Get Metabolic. That's the topic for today. And I've thought a lot about today. I've had so many different opportunities and so many things and discussions with patients this week about all these different things that I've shared in previous weeks. But the one thing that I kept coming back to that means a lot about when and how you can actually lose weight, try to lose weight, get healthy, change your metabolics of your body. And it came down to two A's. First one is availability, and the second one is adherence. So let's talk about these two things, about how they allow you to get to points of actually losing weight and actually getting healthy and fixing your insulin resistance and metabolic syndromes. So let's talk about the availability first. So most people make excuses to not try because they get so much advice from people that are experts or other podcasters, YouTubers, influencers out there that keep talking about this is what you need to do. There's one thing that you need to do and only that one thing, and this will fix everything. So then all of a sudden they get in the mindset of the average person that needs to lose weight and fix their metabolism is they're thinking of, oh, wait a second, that one thing, I don't know if I can get that one thing. I don't know if I can do that one thing. My life doesn't avail me that. It doesn't make me, maybe it's too expensive. Maybe it's rare. Maybe it's one of those things where you can only do it certain times of the day and they can't do that. They don't have a gym membership. They don't have access to CrossFit equipment. They don't have access to a kettlebell. They don't even have access to a yoga mat. And so all these things they're saying, I can't, I don't, I can't, I haven't, all of these words start making it unavailable to the individual. And now that it's unavailable, then the adherence goes way down. Maybe they didn't even have a chance to adhere or stick to it because they never started, because they felt the availability was beyond their reach. And so my message is to say that we need to make choices between good, better, best, and poor, worse, and worst. And all that spectrum between best and worst. And we start needing to make choices, and that all of a sudden our availability opens wide up. Sometimes you don't have the opportunity to eat grass-fed, grass-finished ribeye steaks twice a day for good health, like some of these carnivore podcasters and influencers are talking about. Maybe all they can afford is eggs and hamburger. Or maybe they can't even afford that on a regular basis. And they can't get fresh vegetables. They can't get fresh fruit. And the only thing they can get is canned because they're on food stamps or they're on going to a food pantry and don't have enough money to actually buy their own groceries because they just lost their job due to COVID. Availability is crucial. And again, there's good, better, best. And there's opportunities that are being missed because we think that we can't have these things because the experts have made such a high bar to do these things and have made people feel like there's no chance for success because it's not available. But now let's talk about that. Now that I've addressed that big elephant in the corner of the room that nobody's talking about availability, let's talk about adherence. Now that we've actually addressed that and people start recognizing they have choices about, maybe I'm trying to do low carb, high fat, and the only thing I can do is maybe butter, but I can't afford that avocado oil because it's really expensive. Or I can't just keep buying fresh vegetables all the time because, I need those carbohydrates because, or I need the fiber because I was told that, and there's all these nutrients that are in these vegetables that I can only get from vegetables. Again, we're sharing a message here that lets you know that you have choices still to make, and choices that maybe aren't the highest, but still have a choice. And now that you know you have choices that are available to you, you can start making those choices and start creating habits, like I talked about on Monday, where your thoughts become your words, and your words become your actions, and your actions become your habits, and your habits become permanent. Practice makes permanent. And until you make those habits or those changes to those habits, your old habits are going to stay permanent. And that's where adherence comes into this, where you need to find something that is actually something that you know you can do and stick to. Everything I'm teaching you has nothing to do with some fad diet that you can finish in 3 months and cross a finish line and hitting a goal, and then you can go back to how you were eating and living the life before. Everything that I'm teaching you to do has to be the life that you're going to choose for the rest of your life, because you got sick doing everything else that you used to do or that you're doing right now. And we need to find a way to get to a healthy way of life that you can adhere to and stick to for the rest of your life. And not because it's going to be rigorous or that it's going to be painful and it's going to be bland and it's going to be hard and it's going to be something that you don't want. We want you to do this. I want you to do this. But at the same time, you have to make the choices for yourself. Because the only way that you can adhere to this is that you have a sense of freedom of choice. And with that choice, you'll be actually able to find more freedom and know that all of a sudden, getting back to the availability and the good, better, best, and poor, worst, worst, you start making those decisions on your own. And sometimes good is even available to you, and all you have is poor, worse, and worst available to you. Well, you're gonna have to make the better of the choices, the less of all evils that are available to you. And know that there is definitely worst choices. And if you have only bad things available to you, guess what? If you fail to make a choice to pick one of those things, you still have made a choice, said the philosopher Bob Marley in his song. If you fail to make, oh, actually that wasn't Bob Marley, that was Rush in one of their songs. If you fail to make a choice, you still have made a choice. You made a choice not to choose. And one of the things that I talked about on Tuesday with my new hashtag IF and STL, intermittent fasting in St. Louis, is that opting not to eat anything is still a choice. Fasting is still a choice, and you can still do these things, and that's still better than actually eating poor foods, things that are not healthy to you. But if you're hungry and you don't feel like you can continue to fast, and the only thing placed before you is something that the other influencers out there are saying is not the best choice, you still need to be able to make your own choices. So I just wanted to reach out to you all today and let you know that adherence and availability are the two hallmarks of what I'm going to be preaching to you about with the rest of these discussions, and how they can relate to all of the things that you can do to make yourself healthier and get back to insulin sensitivity and take your health back. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe to my YouTube station. It's going to be really helpful. I really want to help out my community, and the only way to do that is if more and more people would start joining in and sharing my message to others. Again, this will be on my Instagram and also my Facebook pages, so that if you are listening and watching this on those platforms, like, share these things, tag people in comments, make comments to this video, ask questions. If there's any topics that you want me to go over, or some of the things of your own stumbling blocks in the past that you want me to address on how you could fix that in the future, let me know these things. And I'll catch you next time. Take care.